Hello, my name is Stephanie and I'm going to give you a quick tour of my HomeTooling case study. I was the main UX UI designer for this app and I completed the project for the Career Foundry UX Immersion course. HomeTooling is a platform for do-it-yourselfers of any background and any level of experience. It's for people who aspire to be creative and self-sufficient in the realm of home improvement. HomeTooling offers a variety of features such as a large platform for project inspiration and direction, reliable experts to chat with if you have any problems at home, and finally a wealth of vetted experts and companies for hire. So this is my overall design process. I completed this project by following 6 main stages in a complete end-to-end design process. The process started with inspiration and research and worked its way through multiple ideations until we reached high-fidelity mock-up deliverables. So first things first, I need to understand the problem and who my user is. My problem statement for HomeTooling is, our users need a way to easily access verified experts in the field of home improvement because they are struggling to complete a particular task and/or need assistance. They also need a way to discover inspiration and ideas from experts when it comes to DIY projects. We will know this to be true when we see users successfully using the app and solving their problems. The main idea is that users need an all-inclusive app that can help them develop projects and tackle problems all in the same place. So let's take a look at how we solve the problem. First, I needed to understand the market by conducting a competitive analysis of the platforms I thought offered similar features to what I was developing. I conducted this on 3 websites: Just Answer, Pinterest, and Instructables. Reviewing each of these competitors gave me a lot of insight as to what I should and shouldn't include in my product. I was able to spot what was enjoyable and efficient, which provided me with inspiration for my own features. I was also able to find some weaknesses and points of friction, which was useful because it showed me what types of things I should avoid. It also got me to thinking on how I could make those usability issues better in my own product. After analyzing competitor apps, I translated my insights into user stories. These user stories helped me break down and simplify some of the main sections that needed to be developed. With my needs and goals in mind, the next step was to conduct user interviews with my target audience. I went into these interviews with the intent of getting to know my user a little bit better and finding out their needs and motivations when it comes to finding help and inspiration online. I got a lot of useful information from my user interviews, which I was then able to organize into a color-coded affinity map of results. The 5 main sections I divided my insights into were app feature requirements, user thoughts and feelings and goals, the inspiration community feature, user frustrations, and the expert help feature. My interviews made me realize what type of features and flows would be useful to my users and what the priority was to develop. I realized that a community aspect with inspiration for projects and an expert help feature were the 2 main pillars that create the foundation for this product. After speaking with real users and collecting more information, I was able to start bringing my personas to life. These personas represent users with different skill sets and backgrounds to show that HomeTooling isn't just for one type of person. It's for anybody who wants to expand their skill set and creativity, as well as anyone who's seeking advice or help around the house. I also created a set of user journeys to really put myself in the user's shoes. These journeys touch on the user's thoughts and feelings as they navigate through some of the main features of the app. I then created 6 main user flows that highlight and break down screen-to-screen steps in the most simple and linear way as possible. The next step was to compile my research and flows to create an organized sitemap of the entire app's features. The first sitemap was my initial assumptions on how things should be grouped. However, after conducting a card sort, I was able to update it slightly. The majority of the updates were pertaining to the navigation bar. After a good amount of research and conceptualization, I could finally move into creating my initial round of low-fidelity wireframes. Creating these was really exciting because it is the beginning stages of bringing the screens to life. This is the stage to get raw ideas out onto paper and begin starting to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Moving on, I moved my designs from low fidelity to mid fidelity, which I then used for user testing. I tested my mid-fidelity prototype with six participants for my target audience in order to assess the efficiency and functionality of my main features. You can also view the full test script here. Following this, I organized my feedback into an affinity map of observations, positive quotes, negative quotes, and errors. You can also click this link here to view my rainbow spreadsheet, where I organized and rated the severity of each error and piece of feedback. A lot of the observations and errors that occurred in my test overlapped from user to user, so it was fairly clear to me what features users loved and what points they had issues with. After rating my errors and feedback that were brought to my attention during the test, I made all the necessary changes to improve my product. I was then able to focus on higher fidelity details and defined a consistent style guide to use across all devices. When designing the style, I made sure to take into consideration the principles from Gestalt theory, emotional design, and accessibility guidelines. Some of the categories I included in my style guide are typography, color, iconography, photography, buttons, UI elements and styles, grid layout, and accessibility. I then utilized peer feedback in hopes to seek out and fix any remaining issues in my app. Peer feedback is essential because that extra pair of eyes from a few peers can catch little mistakes that you yourself did not see. I was able to catch some minor formatting issues and then correct them. And these here are my final screens. And if you click here, you can access my fully functional mock-up prototype. Lastly, I have some future steps planned ahead. A design is never finished and can always be improved. In this case, I would like to further develop my direct messaging feature between users. This feature allows you to better interact with peers, which is important to the community aspect of the app. After implementing this feature, I would like to do another round of usability testing with 5 to 6 people to make sure this feature is up to par with the rest of the app, and hopefully seek out any remaining points of friction. Thanks for listening.